Welcome back to AM Northwest. Here with a fun art project inspired by Polaroid pictures, we welcome back artist, educator, and author of several books, including Peggy Dean's Guide to Nature Drawing and Watercolor. Peggy Dean, great to see you again.
Great to be
We were
back.
so busy chatting about the colors here because this is so much fun because she has like a whole slew, a whole palette of watercolors.
I do, and
Yeah.
I am a little bit. I'm not against mixing color. I love mixing color, but what we were talking about was why mix it when
Why
you can
mix
just
it when you can just buy the
put
color?
it all in there.
The viewers have heard me complain about that before. So there we go.
Right?
Okay, so tell me about this idea. Is this an example of what we're the
Yes.
project here?
Yeah, and so these are just tiny, like bite-sized mini paintings, if you will, that you can tape off. So I use washi tape around the sides. Washi tape is just a little lighter than typical tape, so you can tear it off the paper when you're done.
Oh, I see.
Without tearing it, you know,
That's
off
how
the
you
paper.
get that look.
Yeah, and so it's just a really easy, quick project that you can do, and then it leaves this really cute effect. So you can make a bunch of little cute Polaroid style paintings, mini paintings, and I think that they're so cute and they're so fun.
Yeah, I get it. I was
So-
going to say you could use them as invitations to things.
You can
but
use them for anything,
Yeah.
and
I love that.
yeah, so essentially what you would do is tape off. I usually just, I mean, I'm not great at making sure that I'm measuring things,
Right.
but you could measure it to make it just right, and then tape off
So this
the
is
sides.
the washi tape here that you're talking about. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll wet the full paper. You just want to make sure the seals are really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
tight so that it doesn't, no paint goes underneath that, because then it's not going to have that crisp line.
Right.
But you can then put water down and just kind of drop some paint in and then spread it out, let it dry, and
Yeah.
then once it dries, you can add these little marks that we're going to do
Okay.
to create, in this case, some palm leaves.
I love it. Let's
right?
try it.
So you can pick any of these that you want.
Okay, so I can just pick this up. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
do this.
and I cut these beforehand, and I don't usually do that. I usually keep it on a paper of 3, but I wanted to make sure that we can show the big reveal when we take the tape off, because that's
Okay.
the most fun. So what we'll do is get brush wet and then roll that in a dark color. You could use, like, I use black for silhouette or something that's like really, really deep.
Your whole philosophy behind the art that you do and the books you do is really about anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You just have to know the little secrets.
Just
right?
the little things, yeah.
Yeah.
And mark making is like the easiest part of this, because I mean, really, while this might look really intricate,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of using your brush as the tool. So
Right.
in this case, this is a very thin, round brush. It's a small size.
Right.
And so when you apply a very small amount of pressure, you're going to get a lighter line. When you
Yeah.
apply a little more pressure, you're going to get a thicker line. So when you just wobble that through,
Yeah.
suddenly you have a much more organic looking leaf
Absolutely.
than
Okay.
if you, yeah. And so, yes, that is.
Okay.
And there's so many different things that I like to play with, watercolor being one of them. So
Okay, I'm trying this now. I've got my paint full of black paint, my brush full of black paint.
we'll see if that's black.
Oh,
I
was
di-
it not?
No, I didn't mark that one.
No, I'm pretty sure it's black.
Okay, wonderful.
I'll risk
So,
it.
you know, I like it. So
Okay.
I think one of my favorite ones are just these peekaboo
Yeah.
palm leaves. And so we're gonna do the very light pressure on our brush and just drag a line anywhere you want off the side, just into it. And see how this is skipping a little bit?
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that. I'd rather do that than press too hard, because this imperfect nature is going to actually aid in the final result, because it is so imperfect.
Okay.
Because from there, we're looking at length. So the length in the very end is going to be shorter, and then we're going to get longer and then get shorter again.
Okay.
So off of that stem that we just did,
Yes.
if you'd call it a stem,
Sure.
you're going to go light and then a little bit
Hard. Light
harder and then
hard.
real light at the end.
Light, hard.
And we're
Okay.
just going to do that a few times. And the shakier, the better, to be honest. So if somebody has a shaky hand,
Yeah.
that is A-okay, because it's going to actually make things look a little bit more
Light.
natural. And then if you have, with watercolor, sometimes you'll have more paint than water on the brush, and you can obviously control that and, you know, figure out ways that you want to play with paint to water ratio. But even the lighter ones are going to add to it, like the ones that have more transparency, because they almost look like they're in the background.
Right.
So they're just like lighter to our eye versus, like, it's not wrong.
You definitely have a way of getting that to be a longer leaf. I'm trying to figure out how. So light. Okay, there we go.
And I just kind of like, instead of making it smooth, because this style right here is what I would normally go to. It's a beautiful, like, airy plant, right? So what I'm doing is, it's actually trickier because you're breaking
Oh yeah,
rules.
you're doing it one on top of each other, right? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
but I'm starting off light, and then
Yeah.
I'm kind of pressing and just kind of almost shaking it down.
Okay.
So that it
Right.
looks more imperfect, which is hard for Helen to do because she's very. No, it's good because.
Light.
But see, yeah, it just makes it a little more imperfect. So once that's done, then I'm gonna bring some on the top, and have them be just a little shorter because they're naturally gonna be.
I think sometimes with anything like this, you have to just kind of practice.
Right? Yeah, and it's hard because when you do leaves, especially because I know you have some art background, you learn to do them like smoother. It's a smoother process.
Right. Okay, you have a creative retreat.
I do.
Right, coming up. So tell me about that. Like, what happens there?
I do. Every year in August, I run a week-long creative retreat featuring like 50 different artists, a little more than that, from all over the world.
All over the world?
All over the world. And for 12 hours a day, we run live workshops every hour on the hour. And it's free.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And all different types of workshops.
All different types, from
Okay.
painting to drawing to sketching to fiber arts
Love
to
it. I love it.
so much. It's so fun. It's a great break from.
Yeah, so it starts on Thursday. We're going to put all the
Yes.
information there, and we've got registration on k2.com.
Yes.
Again, your book is titled, one of your many books, Nature Drawing and Watercolor. Thank you so
Thank
much. Great
you
to
so
see you
much.
again.
You too.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. So great. Peggy.